Okay. Good morning or good afternoon.
Morning.
Yeah, awesome. So many people here. So the first thing that I created was a way to have introspection into the orchestrator with my pull request 29063. Kifa, I think that's for you.
Yes, I saw it this morning, and I will test it.
Perfect. And I've sent a mail to Paul Kastner because he has created a way to speed up the Rook orchestrator. But he had something different in mind. He was about adding some functionality for the Prometheus module. But it turns out that he actually did what we need to speed up the Rook orchestrator. So I've contacted him and let's see if he is willing to modify his code to speed up the Rook orchestrator. So it's really too slow, right? The Rook orchestrator for the dashboard. Kiefer.
Actually, I cannot determine if that's so slow or not because right now I only have 3 nodes for testing,
Mm-hmm.
and they are provisioned in my virtual machine, so it's slow by nature. But I'm not sure if the speed is acceptable when we deploy Rook in bare metal.
In my experience, the Kubernetes API is not really fast.
Yeah,
So
sometimes it block for a while.
yeah, so I really would think that improving the Rook module does make sense. So let's do it then. And the other thing is that I've merged the deep sea caching pull request.
Tim is reporting internet issues.
Yeah. Okay. And that's basically everything I have new for today. The other things are just a recap, like for example, that Sage is going to work on the SSH orchestrator, and that that the drive group stuff was okay for Sage. No drive group pull request. Does it make sense to make a regular stand-up? Yes. Yes?
If Tim I mean, that's the only time for Tim to report, right? Because the other
Yeah,
one, the official, is too late
it's
or early
too
for him.
late for Tim. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it kind of makes sense. And probably if things get rolling, we have also more to report.
Yeah.
So, but the only thing that I would like to know is, so in a meeting that I was not present in, you kind of agreed that the drive groups thing will end up in Ceph volume, right?
So I haven't talked to Alfredo yet. So
Well, then
the,
I
the,
have a new, then oh, no, I don't have news. Yeah, so there, I mean, but there is a general consensus to put this in, right?
yes, it is.
Okay. Then I will refine this pull request, add tests and stuff, and then
Yeah,
we will
I
talk
think
about
that
it in the next meeting.
yeah. So we having a proper pull request for that drive group stuff in Ceph volume really does make sense.
Yeah. And there also is one extra pull request attached, which is targeting the orchestrator, because there we talked about that. There needs to be one layer above that actually calls out to the individual minions, to the individual hosts. Now I'm talking salt here, to individual hosts, that feeds the local drive group.
Yes.
Yeah, I will create this and then do some more examples and write a proper documentation.
But I think that can actually be one pull request.
Yeah.
Or what do you think?
I mean, it's the same subject and all, but yeah, maybe it could also be the same. But then it's kind of huge, right? So it will be at least 2K lines or something.
Yeah, then I'm having smaller pull requests are a bit easier to smaller
That's
pull
what I
requests are a
thought.
bit
Yeah,
easier to review. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
except if you're Sage.
But I'm not. So yeah. All right. Good. That's it for me.
Kiefer's next. Any progress on the dashboard integration?
Good. I still have something to change. The code is still in ugly stage now. I have to refine it.
Okay. Anything missing in the orchestrator or anything broken in the orchestrator?
No,
It's working?
it's working.
Oh, that's great.
Because it's only for inventory and host. And also service. I can display the service right now.
Oh, that's great. Christopher, anything from your side?
No. No, I guess the only thing is that I was looking a little bit at Ceph volume and the old Ceph disk code, and it's a little bit strange to me that in Ceph volume there's all this functionality under the LVM namespace, sort of, to SAP disks and so on, which was available for all kinds of disks. I don't know, but yeah, it's not really orchestrated stuff, I guess. But but yeah, I was trying to understand is that missing functionality in like the simple disk? Like, should that have some kind of SAP functionality to do like use SD disk and clear disks, or I mean,
I
because
think
the LVM code can clear plain devices as well. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, so yesterday I had a look at this, and so it turns out that Ceph volume and then subcommand LVM zap can indeed zap a non-LVM disk,
Right.
but it cannot resolve. So it cannot. So usually, what at least what we do, we pass the OSD ID, right? And then it's super convenient, and it can resolve everything by looking at the LVM tags. But the LVM tags are obviously not there if you have non-LVM devices, and then you have to pass the device path, and that's a bit inconvenient because in Ceph volume there is code to actually look up non-LVM devices, look metadata up, right? And so if we combine if we put zap not into LVM, but let's say
Right.
Ceph volume zap, and then internally it can just take two different paths if it's LVM or not, then definitely that would be the better way. So there is actually not that big of a change.
Right. Yeah.
No, because there is in Ceph volume simple scan, there is all the code that is necessary to scan non-LVM devices. And
Right. So really everything is there. It's just in a weird place.
yeah. So if anybody wants to look at that, that's the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
so. What about Jan getting more engaged in the Ceph volume upstream maintenance?
That's happening.
He was
So
interested, right?
Yeah.
And he's
I mean,
still interested?
it's still his plan, yeah.
Okay. Tim, you're back?
Yeah, I had to dial in on my phone actually because the video and audio just totally stopped in the web browser. I don't know why. Anyway, so what have I been doing? The Deep Sea Orchestrator returning the iSCSI and Ganesha endpoint URLs works now. Now that we've got the cache thingy in, and I've made thanks for that. And I've got a couple of other tweaks, and I'm retesting that now because it's giving me the right information if I just run the Orchestrator CLI, but when I have the dashboard running and pulling the Orchestrator configuration for, say, iSCSI gateways, there's some naming inconsistency, and I haven't figured out yet whether I've just screwed up my setup or if that's a small bug in the dashboard. But I'll figure that out one way or another, and then either add to my pull request or whatever. Yeah, it'll get sorted shortly. So that's it for me for the moment.
Yeah, perfect.
So basically for now, when I display something in dashboard, I try to align to the Orchestrator CLI. So the current of table will be the same with the CLI output. So if you find something different in dashboard, please file an issue.
Yeah, I will, certainly.
But Kiefer, you have the opportunity to really optimize the display of the data for the dashboard. You really don't have to look into the Ceph CLI. I would focus on the dashboard and not on the Ceph CLI.
So for now, I just map in the same column.
Okay.
So I saw there are some column can show much more detail, and the detailed information can come from the underlying implementation. For example, right now I cannot find serial number of disk from the rook implementation.
Yeah, there is an open issue for Rook to finally make use of the Ceph inventory command.
Yes, and I think the serial number is very important for locating a disk.
So that's this issue here. You can. Is there any way you can talk to Blaine? No, he's in a completely different time zone. Okay, I will pass this forward to Blaine.
I think it doesn't agree to implement the Ceph volume in Rook.
Yeah.
So my point is, yes, from dashboard I can show more data. It's okay.
Yeah, I would really focus on the Ceph inventory examples from, for example, the test orchestrator that should return everything, and Rook will eventually also return everything from Ceph volume.
Yes.
Okay.
Working test orchestrator will be helpful.
Is it not working for you?
It's working. But what I mean is, if the orchestrator can have all the features we need. And it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. I think the SSH orchestrator will be a more low-hanging fruit to have a more simple setup for development than the test orchestrator. Because really developing the test orchestrator is pointless because no one is really using it. But yeah, if you want to return dummy data in the test orchestrator, then please do. Because this dummy data can then also be tested in the integration test. So if you want to return dummy data, then please enhance it, the test orchestrator.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I have. And we are done. Anything else?
Not for me.
No, not from me.
Okay, then
Hey guys.
see you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Have a good day.